Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 56, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Rams and the Bengals, and it comes your way. Next,
it's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals taking on the NFC champions, the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin joined by my good friend Charles Davis. And Charles, it was maybe the most unlikely Super Bowl run we've seen in a long time. What a story. The Bengals had not won a playoff game since January of 1991. 4-11-1 last year, 2-14 the season before that. Bottom line, though, here they are, the AFC champs.
And Brandon, this is one of the more remarkable turnarounds in NFL history in recent years. In fact, most of the guys on this team weren't even born the last time they won a playoff game. Although, not that long ago, they had a stretch where they were in the playoffs seemingly every year, but couldn't win a playoff game. Now they've gotten that done. They're back in the Super Bowl. And remember, 2 Super Bowl appearances in their history. Number 16 and 23. Unfortunately, both times they ran into Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers.
Meanwhile, the LA Rams, they are back in the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. Remember, they lost Super Bowl 53 to the Patriots in Atlanta 13-3. But here they are trying to be the second team in 2 years after Tampa Bay last year to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
And we go back to that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, and remember, they were an offensive juggernaut at that time, but only put up 3 points in that game. And they have been a little bit of a tough team to pin down over the last few years. They've had their shares of ups and downs, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but they've always had that great defense, and they're looking to ride that crew to a Super Bowl crown.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. On third down, Burrow. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up fourth down. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. Wow, what a gutsy call. If you're the defense, opening drive, you just got the stopper, at least you think, and then boom, right back on the field for more.
It had the feel of something that they had planned for all week long. Hey, first drive of the game, let's be aggressive, let's go get them. And now defensively, they've got to be writing notes to themselves. In practice, work on fake punts right out of the gate because that was really unexpected.
This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now, but maybe the better. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Bengals are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, this is a guy that runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you don't like that call on the opening drive of the game.
It's a very strong limb that you're out on right now. Okay, look, the game between college and the NFL continues to creep closer, but that is truly a college play, not an NFL play. Because you'd snap the ball from the 3-yard line there, whether it's going for 1 or going for 2. So it makes sense to try it that way, to maybe fake it. In this case, from the 15, makes 0 sense.
And now your lead's just 6-0 instead of 7-0. Stafford on first down. His throw incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last for
a long time.
No doubt.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a run with Akers. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. 6-0 our score after 1. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Now Stafford. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. To throw is Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And they'll rally and stop him short of the first down at about the 6. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice nice play, even though it was complete.
No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Mixon with a first down and more. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. 84 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. Now Joe Mixon. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage. And we're still in the second quarter.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. On the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He's got a first down and more inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. Touchdown. T. Higgins. 28 yards. And the Bengals continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Great corner out there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. On first down at Stafford.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he is inching closer to that 100-yard mark.
And that's the goal. That's the benchmark that every runner in the NFL is trying to get to, and he's locked in on it pretty well right now. And I would suspect that his linemen are locked in pretty well, too. They know that if a guy gets over 100 yards, they've done a great job, too.
You think every starter sort of has the number 100 in his mind before a game?
I guarantee that they do. That's what they think about. That's what they dream about. That's what they visualize during practice all week. 100 yards, because once you get there, it's almost like you hit that number, boom, you might even get to 2.
So these two teams will head to the locker room as we hit halftime in Super Bowl 56. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Rams, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. On the return is Brandon Powell. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They've played great all year long. It was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there for L.A. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Sam Hubbard, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Give them a couple on the run as as it brings up a 4th down. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Gay knocks this one through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Aaron Donald just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end. He's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
Again, it's Mixon. And some space here. Down the numbers. There he goes. 30. 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Joe Mixon.
His 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl.
And the Bengals will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. So there, Charles, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
And they fake it. They pitch to the tight end.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare him to do that? What was that?
They saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Rams offense getting the football back.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Rams. Odell Beckham, 78 yards. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer. So the call's made by Sean McVay. They're going to go for 2. Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work.
He has had a whale of a game. In the 3rd quarter, you're already over 200 yards. I don't know what more he can do at this point.
Not a whole lot, and what he has found is that zone that we always talk about, where every carry feels great. Every carry potentially is a sprint to the end zone, and all he wants to do is ride it as long as this game goes on.
Yeah, now he's just thinking 300 yards maybe.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Man, 222 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On first down, Mixon. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And some nice running going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams' 15-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Now Burrow. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bengals are getting closer now to that ever-elusive first Super Bowl victory. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When he'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. DJ Reader able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight, and this one is going to be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game, even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
So that one will be accepted. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. He was brought down by Troy Reader. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, you got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun to give to Mixon. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
2nd and 5.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon
with his 3rd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Bengals are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
Here's Powell on the return.
And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
Yeah, to put it mildly, look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation.
Second and 11 now.
Mixon will try the right side. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.